What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the sleepers video for the 2022 Wyndham Championship. DB here, and I'm going to give you two sleepers I think will be low-owned pivots in the 7K range that I think you should consider rostering in GPPs. Maybe even throw down a top 20 bet if you like, as the PGA Tour heads to Sedgefield Country Club in Greensboro, North Carolina. Both these guys have some ties to the Carolinas, and I'm ready to get into it. Let's start with the first one at 7,600 on DraftKings. I think Kevin Streelman is one of those guys. Let's just be honest. All right, we've had Streelman on the podcast before. It's a great interview, by the way. If you've not heard it, it's really good. We did that one in the fall of 2021. Strowman's just one of those guys, like, he's just vanilla. You know what I mean? Great guy. But I mean, nobody feels the rush through their fingertips, the lightning bolt hitting nobody feels that when you click Kevin Strowman's name on DraftKings. You just don't. It doesn't feel sexy. It's like, it feels like you're clicking an accountant, maybe a high school principal, something like that. And put in the comments who you think it feels like you're clicking when you click Kevin Streelman's name. He's not a young, sexy player. He's not an old veteran that's got some, still got some, I don't know, some kind of cachet in the streets. He just doesn't have it. So a lot of times people just don't pick him, and a lot of times I find his projections are usually higher than what he actually ends up at, because people just, when rubber meets the road, they don't want to click Kevin Streelman. They don't want to have a boring lineup. But Kevin Streelman is a good player. He's been on tour a long time. He's a University of Duke, former college golfer for Duke University, right down the street here from Sedgefield Country Club. He comes in at around 3-1. That's the best number you can find him as a top 20 on FanDuel. I'm going to open up his Fantasy National numbers here in just a second. But I also noticed this on Data Golf, looking at Data Golf's top 20 odds, looking at DraftKings top 20 odds. Streelman actually has the same or better odds as a handful of players that will probably end up more popular than him in that same DraftKings range. Same or better top 20 odds as Alex Smalley, Adam Svensson, Johnny Vegas, Cameron Champ, and Chris Gotterup. I think he's better odds than Vegas, Champ, and Gotterup on most books. Svensson and Smalley, it's like the same or maybe a little bit better for Streelman. So let's take a look at it. Let's open him up. Let's take a look at what Fantasy National's saying about our boy Kevin Streelman. While you're here, please do click the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you've not already. Let's go ahead and take just a second right now. This will take you literally 2 seconds. I'm going to stop. You're just going to click the like button, and then if you've never subscribed, boop, you're going to hit subscribe so you're notified. Turn on notifications. That way you know when we get new videos coming out. We're dropping a hot new interview this week from a Carolina boy named Harold Varner III. You probably heard of him. You're going to want to be notified. So I'm going to wait 2 seconds. You're going to click the like button and the subscribe. Ready and go. There you go. That's how easy that was. It was perfect. All right, Kevin Streelman. Let's take a look. Obviously known as a very accurate player. This is a golf course you have got to be in the fairway. You've got to be in the fairway. I'm going to break down the next player and show you where he's gone wrong on this course before, and it all starts with being in the fairway. But love to see 70% driving accuracy, and honestly, averaging 296 is definitely not the shortest. I mean, this is longer than a lot of guys that probably you're rostering. It's not short, so he's a really good total driver of the ball. Good greens and regulation numbers. Obviously, it comes down to the flat stick for Streelman. Good news, he's best, at least over the long-term career, he's best in on Bermuda surfaces, which is what we're going to get this week. Very grainy, typical southeastern Bermuda greens. He does gain a lot of strokes on easy courses, which we love to see that. But I mean, just taking a look, it's not the ball striking that gets him in trouble. And look at how consistent he's been off the tee and on approach here lately. I love to see this. Just the past 6 or 7 tournaments. I mean, yeah, he's missing cuts here, but I mean, it's brutal around the greens, just absolutely brutal around the greens. These greens are a lot easier to hit. You've got very high green and regulation numbers, especially if you're coming in from the fairway. I think that should be a little bit easier for him to handle. The putter's been hotter at least the last 3 out of 4 weeks, maybe. I mean, half a stroke gained isn't necessarily hot, but it's hot for Kevin Streelman, right? Let's take a look at what he's done at the Wyndham. It's not been great, except for last year in 2021. And the big difference maker, when I'm looking at guys who played well here and also have like some kind of, you know, different results, is this as the off the tee numbers go, so do the approach numbers go. You very rarely see somebody with lackluster off the tee numbers and popping in the strokes gain approach category, and that's what we find here with Kevin Streelman. He finally figures out, okay, let's keep this daggum thing in the fairway, and then look, T7 at the Wyndham. Um, I'm here for it. The Duke product, Kevin Streelman, not a sexy name. I think it's worth looking at. Let's take a look just to confirm the driving accuracy numbers. I mean, extremely accurate week in and week out. Very few weeks where he's not at putting the ball in the fairway, and gaining strokes, being in the fairway, which is going to be extremely critical this week. So that's Kevin Streelman. I think he's going to come in somewhere in that 7 to maybe 10% range. I'd be shocked if he gets up over 10 because, like I said, I just don't think people end up actually clicking him. But I think he gives you upside. I think he really gives you top 10, top 5 even upside. It's wild, but it's true. He's a two-time PGA Tour winner, people. 2 times. It's been a long time, but it's 2 times, okay? While we're here, I gotta thank our friends at front9coffee.com for sponsoring the Sleepers video all year. We appreciate them. Please show your appreciation for us and for them and for a local small business that started right here in Augusta, Georgia just recently, and they partnered with us, another small business out of Augusta, Georgia. So go to front9coffee.com, use the promo code there on the screen, TJ10. Get yourself 10% off any order. It's fresh coffee roasted after you order it, delivered fresh to your door in the US or Canada within the next couple of days. You can get it whole bean, you can get it ground, you can get my flavor that I've concocted. It's on their website. You can check it out. You can get Pat's flavor if you want. It's not as good, but you could try it. They're just good people over there at Front Nine Coffee, and we'd love for you to support the small business if you like coffee. It's coffee for golfers. It really is. They're just they're people that love coffee, love golfers. That's it. In fact, let me just show you. I'll show you this. Let me share my screen real quick. Look at this. Front Nine Coffee. You go to the shop and look at there, right at the top. You can get DB's large bucket of nuts, Pat's bump and run flavor. You would probably want to click. I'm sure you'd want to go here to my hazelnut nutty blend that's going to be delicious, and you can get one of those. That's super easy. You just ground coffee. You hit your boom, bing, boom, bong. Add to cart. Boom. You're there. Love it. All right. Let's continue. Hey, before I continue, I do want to ask you to do this too. In the comments, tell me a golf brand you think would resonate with Tour Junkies listeners and viewers. Okay. A golf brand that we need to have some synergy, like a Front Nine Coffee, right? So give me a golf brand, put that in the comments. We'll see if we can make something happen. Because listen, you put the brand in there and we strike a deal, then we're going to turn around and give you a promo code to get some money off or something. So it's a win-win-win all the way around. All right. For my final play, I really like this play. This guy was the talk of the town. He was the talk of the town. And then all of a sudden he misses one cut and everybody's like, I don't want to play him. Currently, I see his projection. Now it's early. It's before noon on Tuesday. Currently, I see his projection around 4%. I think it may creep up a little bit. I think it could top out at maybe 7%. But this guy almost won his first PGA Tour event just a few weeks ago. He's played well on Southeastern Bermuda courses. He's a ball striking stud, a lot like Kevin Streelman, hits a lot of fairways and greens. It all comes down to the putter. He's had experience here at the Wyndham, and he's $7,200. And it's Matt Naismith, the South Carolina Matt Naismith. He's 4-1 on DraftKings for a top 20. That's the best number for him. I project him, like I said, in that 4 to 7% range. And he has better odds. Then listen to these 3 names around him that he has better odds. And we're hearing more and more people talk about these guys over Naismith. Taylor Moore, Lee Hodges, and Austin Smotherman. Now, I love Austin Smotherman. I love him. I think he's got a very high floor, okay? But better top 20 odds across Data Golf's odds, across DraftKings Sportsbook odds, better top 20 odds than all 3 of those players. And yet everybody wants to just go ahead and poo-poo on Matt Naismith because he burned him a couple of weeks ago. Let's open up Fantasy National and take a look. Good total driver of the ball, hits some fairways, hits a lot of greens and reg. We like that. That's just what he does. He was 11% owned at the 3M when he finished 72nd, and everybody got pissed. Okay. Best putting surface is Bermuda. Now he does lose strokes, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's pretty much neutral on Bermuda, which we like to see. Gain strokes on easy courses, which we like to see. But just, looking at Matt Naismith's body of work in 2022, It's pretty solid. I mean, for the PJ Tour season in 2021 started down here. There's a top 20, and then he kind of goes on this slow run. Valspar, Copperhead, Innisbrook, Florida, Bermuda, Graney, third place. Could have won that event. Was in it with Sam Burns and Davis Riley. I think he was in the final group with Sam Burns. RBC Heritage, accuracy, precision type course, Southeastern US, South Carolina, Graney, Bermuda, T12. Wells Fargo was a tough track and a good field. 19th at the Travelers here just a couple of weeks ago. I actually think Naismith's floor is considerably high considering he's $7,200. And the Genesis Scottish Open cut, listen, forget it. It's Scotland. It's links golf. It's totally different. Throw it out. The 72nd at the 3M Open, that wasn't great. It wasn't great. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Like it wasn't horrible. He just didn't hit the irons as well as we're used to seeing him hit them. But look how consistent for the most part this dude has been, and he has really peak iron weeks, like really peak iron weeks. And if he does that here, then we're talking some real business here. Now I want to show you well, actually, before I show you what he did at the Wyndham, because it's kind of a study in the Wyndham. Let's just take one last look here at the distance and accuracy numbers. I mean, you can see extremely accurate driver of the ball. So we're not going to be too worried about. We're not going to be too worried about is Naismith going to hit the fairways here like he's supposed to. We're really not. He's going to. I really believe that. But actually, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Look at the Wyndham. He's played here 3 times. Now listen, he played here in 2012. Well, I mean, he's a Carolina dude, so I mean, I'm sure he got some sort of exemption in college or something. Or hell, 2012, was he like in the 5th grade? I don't know how he played here in 2012, but forget that. It's 10 years ago. Forget it. Don't even look at it. Who cares? Played here in 2020 as a pro, PJ Tour pro, finished 42nd. Whatever. I'm pretty sure that was his rookie year. Last year he played here, missed the cut. But look at what he did off the tee. Like it just wasn't good. Negative 2 in good drives gained. Didn't do his thing off the tee. And that's going to matter a lot here. Okay, let me show you this. Let me go back to strokes gain metrics, and let's go to Wyndham only. Wyndham. Yep. All right. So forget 2012 again. Forget it. All right. Here he is. 2020, he barely gained strokes off the tee, but he's neutral to the field. He makes a cut. He has a middling finish of 42nd. He comes out here, he loses strokes. That's setting him up poorly for off the tee. He actually gained strokes putting, which is incredible. I mean, we actually like to see that. Like last time he was here, at least for the first 2 rounds. I mean, gaining 3 strokes in 2 rounds is pretty good for Matt Naismith. That's really good. Gaining 3 strokes in like 6 rounds is really good for Matt Naismith. But here he is. He's coming back to a place where he's familiar with these greens, these grainy Bermuda greens, his best putting surface. But now he's hitting it. We just looked at his accuracy numbers recently. Now he is hitting fairways at a rapid clip. Okay. Even at the 3M when he missed the cut, he was hitting fairway or finished 72nd. He was hitting a ton of fairways. I think that's important to pay attention to here with these guys that we're considering rostering. Is this off the tee stuff is critical here at Sedgefield. You are boned if you're not hitting the ball from the fairway, being able to control your ball, control your spin, and stay out of this Bermuda rough that is very jumpy, is what we're hearing. Very, very jumpy. So that's it. 2 sleepers in the comments. Golf brand you think we should collaborate with. Tell me what you think. Thank you for watching the video. Check out Front 9 Coffee. And yeah, let's have some green screens this week. See ya.